Hello everybody, welcome to Homestead Living Alaska. If you are new to our channel, we are a family of 6 and we live in the beautiful wilderness of Alaska. I am filming outside today because it's actually very warm and there's great lighting, and I'm also going through menopause, so this is a perfect combination for me right now. So today you guys are going to learn how to make apple cider vinegar the easy way here. Now, apple cider vinegar has been around for a very long time. And it's really great for things like cleansing your liver, weight loss, hair rinses, detoxing, digestion, can help with skin problems, gout, and the list goes on. So first we're going to go over all of the products you will need to make your cider vinegar. So your first ingredient will be, of course, apples. And I'm just using some older apples we bought from the store that have gotten a little bruised, and we don't want them to go to waste. So we're going to use these today. The second thing you will need will be a strainer. Then you're going to need some glass mason jars. I have a stir stick here, a knife. You'll need a measuring cup, and you'll need some cane sugar, and you will also need some distilled water. And I'm going to just use some birch bark today as my funnel, and most of this you probably already have anyways in your kitchen. So super simple and easy. All right, so these jars here I started probably about 4 to 5 weeks ago, and they are ready for the apples to be strained out. And we'll do this at the very end. So first thing we're going to do is start a fresh batch of apple cider vinegar. All right, so the first thing you're going to be doing is just cutting up your apples here. And I throw everything, including the seeds and the core, in my apple cider vinegar. I'm sure there's all sorts of ways to do it. So you're just going to keep cutting your apples up until you fill whatever jar you're going to use about 1/2 to 3/4 full with apples. So if you only had, a couple of apples, maybe you'd go with a quart jar. But today I'm going to be using a 1/2 gallon jar. And I'm just going to fill this up probably about 3/4 of the way. Now, our family uses the apple cider vinegar in salad dressings, and my husband and I also like to just mix it with water and try and have it, daily if we can. We also will sometimes mix it with sparkling soda, and it tastes so good, almost like a kombucha drink. It's so delicious. And we just feel like after we have cider vinegar, you just feel better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Okay. So I'm just going to fill this about 3/4 full. All right, I'm going to stop about there because everything will kind of rise up here. All right, so the next thing we're going to be doing is adding our distilled water, and the ratio will be 1 cup of distilled water to 1 tablespoon of cane sugar. Okay, this is going to be about 4 cups of water. Perfect. So now what I'm going to be doing is adding 4 tablespoons of cane sugar. Now let's add our cane sugar here. Okay. And now what you're going to want to do is give everything a really good mix. You want to mix around the sugar into all of the apples. All right. Now this part is very important. You want to cover the top of this with something other than cheesecloth, because cheesecloth can allow the little gnats and bugs to get in your mixture. So I just cut up an old shirt and I'm just using that. Put a lid on like this. And then what you're going to want to do for 2 weeks is you're going to want to stir this once a day. So let's say tomorrow I'm going to take this off, go in here, and I'm going to stir it up. Put this back on. And then rinse and repeat that for about 14 days. At 14 days, you don't have to stir anymore because it's done fermenting. And I'm sure there's all sorts of different ways you can do it. This is just how I do it. After I stir it for 2 weeks, and then I let this sit for 2 weeks without stirring it, then it looks something like this. And it's done bubbling. You'll see that when you turn this for the first 2 weeks, you'll see bubbles. It's because it's fermenting. Then it turns to a hard cider and there will be no bubbles. And also the smell will change. And when it gets to this point at 4 or 5 weeks later, then I strain the apples out and then we're going to let the cider turn to vinegar. That is kind of how the process looks. If you guys can see here, starts like this, ends like this. And so next I'm going to show you how to strain the apples out and kind of what that looks like. All right, so next I'm going to take my strainer here. Starting to get a little bit cold. The sun's going away. And I'm just going to take this off here. Smells so good. And then these apples here would be great to give to chickens because they are full of probiotics. So I will not let these go to waste. All right, next what I'm going to do is kind of put this in the jar to act like a funnel because I cannot find my funnel right now. All right, so let's see if this birch works here. And birch is such a great thing. Birch bark actually has medicinal properties in it, and it has been used for a long time. And we use it and we make salves and tinctures with the birch bark. And they have used birch bark a long time for many different, ailments. As actually is quite a fantastic resource to learn about. All right, so my birch bark funnel is working perfect. And birch bark, when you pull it off of the tree, it's actually super clean under the white part. It's very, very clean. And then birch trees will actually grow a fungus called polypores. And the polypores, they kind of look like a flat pancake. And they are actually known for kind of a band-aid in the woods as an emergency. So if you find a polypore, you look underneath, it's white underneath. You can actually make strips of it, peel it off, put it on your wound like a band-aid, and it actually has medicinal properties. So birch is just full of good stuff. All right, so I have a little bit left here in my bowl. Let's see if my funnel can help. Yes, perfect. So I have that all done, and that is kind of how you get the apples out, and then it's going to look like this. Then what you're going to do is cover it back up. I just use my cloth again. And then you're going to let this sit for another month or 2, depending on how you want the flavor of your vinegar to turn out. I learned a lot of this from the Doug and Stacy channel, and Stacy did a wonderful apple cider vinegar video that Lily and I used to watch as we were learning all of this. So thank you, Stacy, and I appreciate it. So the longer you let your vinegar sit, the more it will get kind of that vinegary taste. So usually we'll let ours sit for, a month or two, and by then we're ready for more and we ran out of our other vinegar. So if you can be patient and wait longer, of course, you'll have more of that vinegar flavor. So you want to think ahead because we are running out of our current vinegar and now we'll have to wait, at least another month or two for this. So you want to always have your cycles of vinegar going so you never run out. All right, so here is the final product here. I'm going to put it on this birch plate here. And I also wanted to let you guys know that we are starting an Etsy shop where we are making handmade birch cutting boards. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. I will leave a link to the Etsy store in the description of today's video. All right, guys, so hopefully you've learned a little something. Leave me a comment if you have a question about anything. Everybody should get some apple cider vinegar going today because it's real apple cider vinegar. It's from apples. And the taste difference is amazing. It tastes so much better. So go make your apple cider vinegar today, guys. And thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.